Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's another beautiful Wednesday morning. I'm just a chat with BUNMI, ALABI. And guess what? It's October 1st, Independence Day, Nigeria. Hey, my country. We are getting old, though. 65 years. It isn't easy, man. But honestly, it's been an amazing time, and I want to wish Nigeria a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Nigeria. But today on this chat, I'm not here alone to do this discussion. I have amazing people here with me. And let me start from my right hand here. I have this my wonderful sister in the house. She's a how do I even introduce her? But she's just a wonderful person. She's an amazing person. Anytime I call her to come on set, she's always there and she's loaded. Anything I give to her, I ask her, she's it's plenty. Please join me as I celebrate my one and only Auntie Blessing. Let me call you Auntie Blessing.
Yeah, thank you today
Sister
for calling me
Blessing.
Auntie.
Yeah.
The last time
That Mrs. Mommy Gio. It makes you look. But did you receive that?
Anointing. I received the anointing. The anointing was coming.
Because the discussion was really
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was hot.
Mommy Gio.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's coming.
It's always
It's
a
coming.
pleasure.
It's coming.
And I'm happy being here.
Don't cover it up. Mommy Gio is coming.
Thank you, Mommy Gio.
Mommy Gio. So how are you doing?
I'm fine.
I believe
thank
you're really enjoying Lagos.
My sister, what would I do?
Yeah, you look so refreshed.
Thank you. It's once in a while. You need it.
It's good.
Before going back again to start the hustle and bustle.
Yeah, it's a way to refreshing yourself, your mind, your body, and I know no stress, no hustle in Lagos. Even though Lagos is a hustling place, but at least for this time you have time to
this is my time for relaxation.
Yes, that's nice.
Thank you.
And on my left hand here, I have an amazing personality too, but he's going to introduce himself in a special way because the reason why I brought him here is because of this day, this special occasion. Please join me as I welcome Mr. Ajala Samuel.
Okay, thank you, ma.
You're welcome. Glad to have you here. So I would like our fans to know you and what you do.
Okay. As said earlier, my name is Samuel Ajala, and I am a child accountant. I work in an audit firm. So basically, we do auditing, taxation, and financial consulting for most of our clients.
That is why we are here. Auditor, tax auditor. Some people like you civil people, when you hear tax, tax everywhere. But before we get more into that, let's talk about Nigeria at 65. Nigeria, here we come. How far have we gone? How far have we come? And where are we heading at 65? What's up with Nigeria at 65? Is this something what can we say about Nigeria at 65? Going through the process, the stage, the time, from saying that okay, we got our freedom, and looking at where we were then and where we are now. Can we really say we have total freedom? Let me start from you, Auntie Blessing.
I will always talk based on personal opinions.
Okay, now.
As far as I'm concerned, we have not gotten there. I don't know whether we will get there or in the next before we get to 70.
so
there is like 70-year-old.
They used to say something like a fool at 40.
This one is a fool at 70.
But
honestly, I remember growing up then, our parents used to tell us that time that our Nigerian money was way much, better off than even pounds. But today, as at today, you can imagine how much we are going to dollar to naira, not to talk of pounds. You understand? So I don't know. It will only take a miracle anyway.
But you know, there are still sometimes our parents still talk about that. Okay, things were hard in those days. That things were so they can't afford some things. Then they were thinking maybe some things were still hard. Remember, then they used to say, there's one song that one gospel singer used to say that I'm gonna take you out like Ayenda Ruo. And I was like, if you were saying Ayenda Ruo at that time, so what do you now want us to talk about now? So what has happened? So Mr. Samuel, so what can you talk about? Let's talk about Nigeria. No, it's not about the entire world, but Nigeria as a whole at 65. What can you say about that?
From my own perspective, I will say I disagree with her a bit. Let me disagree with her a bit. Because, yes,
Okay.
it's our opinion though, but we are not there yet, but we are not where we used to be.
Okay.
So if you have to look at it, every season, every period, there has always been a challenge.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There is always a complaint. I think in 90s, though I was still very young, and I was watching a movie recently. It's a very popular movie. So I was surprised that the movie was dedicated to the middle class. Because then it was observed that the middle class are being wiped out.
Yeah.
That was like, so this trend has been like this
Yeah.
for long. It's all about the middle class being wiped out. So it's just your perspective. But I think there is a landslide breakthrough for Nigeria when it comes to us refining our crude oil rather than exporting it. So it's a big one for the country as a whole. It's a big one for the country. So I think that will boost more of that will boost our economy and other things that are coming up too. From that perspective. So I would say that we are not there. So when you talk about the exchange rate as well, the exchange rate, although people complain and I also complain because the exchange rate fluctuation affects so many businesses, especially when you are into exportation and importation. And I think average or most of the industry in this country, most of the company in this country are either exporting one or importing one or two things. So I would say that at the end of the day, some of them majority of them reported foreign exchange loss because their projection is not what they actually get.
Yes, that's
So we've had a stable foreign exchange rate over the years. But in the last 2 years, I would say in the last 2 years or last year, in the last 2 years, it has been fluctuating and difficult for business owners to actually even predict and budgeted their cost. But however, I think I would say it's a global thing on the other way around. If you look at some other African countries too, they also have their own challenges. But it's because we are familiar with Nigeria, we can see the black and white of Nigeria. That's when we can actually say, okay, something is wrong with Nigeria. Look at Ghana. They also have their own and other
countries.
African countries. Let's put it that way. So
thank you very much. Wow. I think I want us to bring it closer to real life and what is currently happening now, talking about tax. And an average person will ask that, okay, why should I pay tax? As what is the government doing for me? For the past 65 years that we're saying, okay, Nigeria has been free from colonization, but we still feel like, okay, we are the one even paying the government, but the government have nothing to offer us. You understand? So now that with the implementation, the new implementation, even though as of now, like you were saying that it's not going to really affect so many business owners, but it's affecting everybody.
Everybody's scared.
Everybody's scared now, and most of us were even scared. Because we don't really understand much about it. You said I shouldn't be scared because I'm not a civil servant, but when they say they're going to be deducting from how much I'm making from my if I'm buying pepper
tax before.
No, that one was not directly. But this one, before you do it, before any money comes into your account, you have to really know that, okay, calculate it. I wanted to send money to someone, and she was saying that, please include tax. I wanted the person to help me transfer money, and she was saying, include tax in that money. I was like, show the later, do you understand? We've not really started. So I would love you to just give us more insight, enlightenment about this tax of a thing, as in, what does it have to, as in, what is it really about? What does government expect us to do? And after that, you are going to tell her, okay, now if you are now doing it, what do we get
in return
from the government? So I would love us to enlighten us on
is
that.
Is it a cost? Is this tax a cost?
Is
it a blessing? Is it a cost?
No, before you
average
Nigerian. Let people say, before you know, maybe it's a cost or a blessing.
Okay, just explain to us what it's all about.
I think an average Nigerian, let me just put it this way, are not used to paying tax.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I could remember even as an employee in a private organization, what most people negotiate is their net salary. So people are not even concerned about their gross salary because your gross salary is inclusive of the tax. So when you are negotiating your net salary with your employer, automatically you are transferring the burden of the tax you are supposed to pay to your employer. Because, for example, now you are negotiating 500,000 net. What will come out of the company pocket it's not actually the 500,000.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you want to be on the safe side.
Mm-hmm.
So for the private employee, I don't think they need to be scared about this thing because it is what you have been paying before. And I would even say that this tax reform is a progressive one, in which if you are any low, you pay less.
Low. Lesser, yeah.
So the more you earn, the more you
The
pay.
more you
Yeah.
pay.
So it justifies the principles of equity
Yeah.
in tax.
Okay.
So there's much to be
Scared.
scared of.
About.
When it talks about the pay you are going to pay, unlike before, if you are any below 800,000 naira, you still pay your tax. But now, government is saying that your 800,000 naira, you are not paying tax. Mind you, it is not per month. It is annual.
It's annual, yeah.
It is annual. So some people don't even know that. Some people believe that 800,000, right? So it is annual. So it is not per month. And there are some allowances that are incorporated into this new tax reform. Unlike before, after deducting your consolidated relief allowance that we used to deduct from the before we now, because it is not your gross that goes into the tax net.
No.
I used to say. So government gives some allowances.
Yes.
So before,
Which
after
are not
deducting,
taxable.
yes, which are not taxable from your income.
Yeah.
So after deducting all these allowances, if you put it on a tax table, we have a personal
A
income
chart.
tax table
Okay.
in which your first 300,000 naira is
Yes.
subjected to 7%.
Yes.
The next 300,000, I think, is about 15% or so. Then the next
11%.
11%. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Then the next 500,000. But now your first 800,000 naira is
Is
0%.
0%. Okay.
So the next, I think, the next 2 million or something
Is
is 15% on the new tax rate. So if you compare what you are paying before as payee and what you'll be paying now based on the new tax law, you'll be paying lesser.
permit me to come in. More for civil servants. Most civil servants are being taxed based on gross, which is inclusive of their allowances. Most civil servants, take for instance, somebody who is earning 200,000, the 200,000 is supposed to be like, okay, your basic is this amount, your income, your rent is this amount, your transportation, your meal subsidy is supposed to be this. But now, everything is being compressed together. For one, that's what happens. That's what I happens to me. Because at the end of the month, you are taxed based on your net, your basic, your allowances and everything compressed together. That's what happened in the civil service now. Now somebody who's earning 200,000, like I said, now maybe at the end of the day is collecting his taxes about maybe 20 or 30,000, which ought not to be. So this new tax reform, is it going to hit more on the basic instead of bringing everything together, including the allowances? I just want to know so that we'll be able to know how to fight it when the time comes.
Why do you want to fight it? As
we
in,
have to.
is it something that we can really fight for? Or
Yeah. If you are being overtaxed, you should be able to
Tax.
come out and say, okay, I'm being overtaxed now. If your allowances is being taxed, which is not supposed to be, you are supposed to come out and say why. At least you should ask questions.
Okay.
My own.
Okay. Let's hear from him so that I can...
Okay. Let me just break it down to this. We have allowable expenses and
yes,
allowable
non-allowable.
expenses.
Yes.
But that's for company. But for individual, there's something we call BHT.
Okay.
Basic Housing and Transport.
Yes.
Allowance. So these allowances, they are still your income.
Oh, so they are supposed to be taxed.
They are still your income.
The rent is supposed to be taxed.
Rent
Wait.
and everything.
Wait. It is not going to be
It's not
taxed now.
taxable.
I think the government is allowing, based on the new tax law, I think
Okay.
20% of your rent or something
Oh, okay.
will be allowed.
Okay.
So they won't tax it.
Okay.
For example, now, say your rent is 1 million.
Okay.
So 20% of 1 million
1 million.
will be allowable for deduction before it is taxed.
Okay.
And there are some other allowances.
Okay.
So what makes up your salary is what you have mentioned.
Yes, the
The
gross,
basic, the housing allowance,
the
the
rent,
transport, and some other
the
things like
food,
that.
yeah.
So government is now saying that, okay, pack all these things together.
Together.
This is your gross income.
Mhm.
But they have designed some allowable allowances for you to be deducted. It is not the gross that will be taxed at the end of the day.
With this new tax.
Okay.
Yes, it is not the gross.
Okay.
It is not your gross
That will be
income
taxed.
that will be taxed. it is after deducting some allowances
Okay.
that government have put into
Mhm.
consideration. The housing allowance is there
Yeah.
too. It's 30% of your housing.
Housing
NHF.
is yes.
We do any
is-
pension.
Pension is there.
Yeah, pension is deductible.
Yeah.
You deduct your pension first before they subject your income to tax.
That's true.
And you know, pension is contributory.
Yeah.
8% comes from your
From
salary and 10% from your employer.
Yeah.
So the 8% that's coming from your own salary will be deducted
Yeah.
before
The
the
tax,
net
the net
is being
that is
taxed.
taxed.
So it is not as if all your income will.
But the issue is that they've always been like taxing everything before.
I think it will just help us to be more detailed and educative about
Okay.
how our income is being recognized. Because I know some people who work who will never request for their pay slip, or even when they request for the pay slip, they will even look at the details of the pay slip
Yeah.
to even know what comes in and what goes out.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, it will enable us to be more detailed about our spending,
Yeah.
about how we handle our finances,
Mm.
and the rest like that. So I just feel that's what will happen at the end of the day.
Thank you
That's
very
what
much.
the civil
I believe for the civil service, because
Yeah.
you know all the ones you are talking about, I know it's
Based on the
straight
civil
premium
service.
on the civil service. So let's go to
The private
business-
sector now.
private sector, business owners, small scale, and like, you know, because like that's my whole area, and even NGO, because I was trying to look at it that okay, for people that have business owners, individual private sectors, I mean, can you give us more orientation about how this is paid? Like somebody that is like the civil servant, they get talk about payments that they don't look into it. But we are into business, we just charge. There's some people that, you know, when you charge them and you include the tax, they'll be like, what for? You understand? You expect them that they're supposed to pay it, include to add it to the amount you are charging them, but they'll be like, okay, they don't need to pay this, and they don't even understand, because they won't want to pay it if you try to maybe you differentiate it from them. So what can you advise people that are into private setting now to do? How can they include this thing in their personal business? And like now you're saying, okay, if you're not heading up to 800,000, maybe your
That's for the civil service.
no, you're talking about if you are not making up to a certain amount
Amounts, okay.
in the
Okay.
business that they can't tax you.
Mhm.
Okay, everybody prays that, okay, I want my business, I want
To
to
grow.
register, to grow, I want to register as a company, I want to do this. So should they now maintain their business as a business name, or you know, they just take it like, okay, I want to register it as a company? You understand? So what can you say about that for people that are in the private sector? How can they inculcate this into their
Businesses.
their businesses? Yeah.
I think if you agree with me, we have two forms of business.
Okay.
We have the business name that we know as enterprise,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we have the LSC,
Yes,
limited liability
limited
company.
company.
So for the enterprise is majorly sole proprietorship. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And maybe partnership where that comes together. And those people are not required to statutorily required to file their account annually.
Okay.
But at the end of the day now, what we are driving out is that you are doing a business and you are making profits from it. Abi?
Mhm.
So now government is telling you that everyone needs to prepare their accounts. Because if you don't prepare your account, the government will have access to your bank statement.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they will summon you. The appropriate tax authority will summon you to come and explain, okay, this is what we discover from your account. This is your, so you start explaining, but before you start explaining, why not get your books intact first? So this is your profit. It is your profit that will be taxable, not your revenue.
Of course.
Not your revenue. So for the small business, I think for the small business, they are exempted from VAT.
Yeah. Okay.
And small business happens to be 25 million turnover below in a year. But now it has been increased to 50 million turnover.
Wow, that's good.
So if your turnover in a year is still
It's less than 50
million, then
your value added.
you'll be exempted from paying some tax.
Yeah.
Like CIT, you won't pay CIT, which is company income tax. Then VAT, you are not expected to be subject to VAT. So on the aspect of the other company, so it is there is no shortcut to this thing. You have to get your books
ready.
And then make sure that you charge your VAT. And this VAT we are talking about, people just misconceive VAT. VAT is not a revenue to the company.
To the government.
to the
No,
company.
to the company.
Oh yeah,
It belongs to
to
the
the government.
government.
Yeah.
It is like we have it all over the world. It's a form of consumption tax. Now, let me tell you, you already have your own selling price, which is inclusive of your profits.
Mhm.
Now, government is not telling you that this product you are selling is vatable.
Mhm.
Help us to charge 7.5%
On
on
it.
this.
On it. Hmm.
When you charge 7.5% on this,
Okay.
including, we call that VAT input.
Mm-hmm.
Now, government knows that in the process of you producing that product,
Mhm.
you have made some purchases.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Abi? Procurement of materials. Some of these materials you have paid VAT on them as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they are not telling you that what is payable to government
Give
is
the government.
net of what you have paid
You have paid already.
and what you are earning. You are not asking you to pay the 7.5 you have charged on your sales outrightly.
Mm.
Check what you have also paid. That's where your books being entered comes in. So I have bought raw material, I have incurred. In fact, this new tax extended to the VAT paid on your fixed assets. You don't have to capitalize it.
Fixed assets.
Assets,
Okay.
If you buy a plant now
Mm.
and your supplier charge VAT on it,
Mm.
maybe you procured a 10 million worth of plants, not even goods now.
Mm.
They charge 7%, 7.5% on it. That's about 750,000 or so. That means you are paying 10.7
Million.
about 7 million,
Mm.
5 million. So the 750 million you have paid is a VAT.
Mm.
You have paid it already. Abi? Government is telling you that net it from whatever sales
that you want to make.
that you want to make.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, if the VAT you have paid to your supplier
Mhm.
is higher than what you earn, file for refund. Government will refund you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So the new tax law is now saying that within 30 days, you will get this refund.
The issue is
And is it
Nigeria.
possible? That's the whole government refund. Because
Nigeria.
let's even bring it down, because we are talking about, okay, government wants to get something out of what you're earning, out of your own profit. Now the question is, as I'm just asking for average Nigerians, okay, fine, I want to pay this tax. What do I get back? As in, government has said, if we're comparing ourselves to other countries, developed countries, they can see what they're using their money to do. They are providing enough facilities, your infrastructures and the likes, good roads, hospitals, schools, and everything. It's there. But here in Nigeria, what can we say that, okay, now we're 65 years now, and we still see people that, and the issue is, when we have issues, these people that are at the top, when they have issues with maybe some challenges, you can't see them going to all these medical hospitals. They go abroad because they know that there are no enough infrastructure, there are no facilities. You understand? So if you can't trust your life with what you are saying that we should depend on, we should be servicing, then what's the hope for Nigeria? What is the hope for average Nigeria that they can't afford to do so, or to afford some certain level of care that they should have given to themselves? You understand what I'm trying to say? So what should be the hope of average Nigeria? Okay, fine, we want to pay the tax, we're going to, all this is still going to boil down to people that are as maybe the consumer, even the consumer, because it's going to inflate the price of things.
Yes,
you understand?
The consumer is still
and the reason why I even like this, for business owners, because I'm into business and I love this, because it will help people to really be able to be accountable for that. So people don't know the profit they make. They got both net, gross, everything. They just spend everything together. So by the time you know that, okay, I must pay a tax. So obviously you must put everything to check, have a record for everything you are doing. So my question still goes back to, what is the hope of Nigerians? Okay,
an ordinary Nigerian. Because when you talk of Nigerians, we have some people that are more Nigerians than
Nigerians. So what level are you?
But we still have Nigerians in more or less. Nigerian is still common.
Okay. Because there are some Nigerians that cannot afford abroad medical this payment. So some people like me now, as a civil servant, you don't expect me to start traveling abroad for medical when I'm not a politician. You understand? So for when we talk, let's always put this into check, that we're talking about the ordinary Nigerian here.
The average Nigerians.
Yeah.
I believe there is one thing to make policy there is another thing for its implementation,
Implementation, yeah, which
and
is
there
more
is
important.
another thing for its utilization.
Mhm.
Mm.
So I will break it down into three now. We have policy, we have implementation,
Okay.
we have utilization. Government have made their policy regarding tax reform. It will be implemented from 1st of January,
Yes.
Yeah.
which
2026.
is the next stage.
Mhm.
Now, the next thing is people want to see the value for their money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Abi?
Yes.
Sure.
So that still boils down to our leaders.
Mhm.
So I don't think there is any policy on its utilization for now
Mm.
that is open. But what we know is that government is going to put in a lot of infrastructure that will make businesses to become more easier.
You say
Yes, yes,
government will.
yes.
Let's hope
We
so. And pray. Let's
We.
praise
We
so.
hope so.
Let's
and
praise so.
I think one of it is the coastal road that is being
That's in
confronted.
Lagos. So when we talk about government, I think there's Lagos
Lagos
and
is
other states.
Lagos is the commercial hub of
Abuja.
of the country itself.
When we are talking about Nigerians, please don't be putting Lagos.
Different.
Lagos has so many magnetic.
But for utilization, we don't know how it will. But we
Wow.
hope that something
We
good
pray.
will come.
We come.
We pray.
Something good will come. And as you can see, electricity has improved. Even though we
Mhm.
are
Yeah,
paying,
we can.
Yeah.
We pay more,
but
you
it's
see what
better.
you're paying for.
It's
Yes,
better.
You see what
That's
you're paying
because
for.
what
I could-
Nigerians want.
I-
Even if we are going to pay, let's know what we are paying for.
I could remember that a few years ago we complained that even if it will be expensive,
We will pay.
give us
Let's-
this electricity.
Mhm.
Now we have it.
Yes.
Mhm.
I
We're
mean,
not complaining.
let's just take it one.
Do you know how many
Step at a
companies
time.
have closed down, that moved to all these nearby countries just
Honestly.
because of electricity? Because that's the major thing that we need in this country,
That's
as in
true.
electricity. You
But
know, if electricity is sorted, a lot of other things really, really come up as in
but
businesses.
it's utilization. We need to sensitize our leaders. Because this morning, while I was going out, I turned on my radio and I was listening to a program. I heard about some chairman
Wives, yes,
That were
that
sent-
went abroad for training.
abroad for training. So we hope that
That
proper
money-
accountability.
Those monies will not be channeled towards that.
So
People's tax.
let's just hope so.
Mm.
So I think we need a proper sensitization on
Mm.
our leaders as well.
Mm.
We need to hear from them. We need to see them talk and do.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
so I think when we see them talk and
Performing.
do, then people will be more committed to do the needful as well.
Mm.
So there won't be excuse as to I'm not seeing what government is doing.
That's why
We
I'm
kindly
saying.
want to pay. And whether you even like it or not, you are paying your VAT indirectly.
Indirectly.
It
Yeah.
is just because you don't check your invoices.
Yeah.
If you buy anything now, check your invoices. The
You
price
know,
will be
it's
there. But what most of them do now is that, and it's a strategy that other business can adopt. Their prices are already VAT inclusive. What I mean VAT inclusive, if you see a price tag of 25,000 naira,
Mhm.
when they give you the invoice, you see the 25,000 at the end of the day,
Yes.
and you pay 25,000.
Yes.
But in
the
that
tax is
25,000,
already
It's
the VAT is there. So
Yeah.
if you check your
broken
invoices,
down. Yes.
it is you will see the breakdown of what
Yes.
made up the 25,000 price tag you are
That's true.
seeing.
That's true.
So it will help. If you are telling people that you are selling this in 10,000 naira, and at the end of the day you are saying you will add another charge to it.
Mhm.
So that's where accountability
Yeah.
comes in.
Mm.
Knows your cost of
Mm.
production,
Mm.
put your own profit margin.
Mhm.
If your product is VAT,
Add the
VAT.
VAT.
Tell them the old price,
Mhm.
100,000. When they check the invoice, okay, VAT is there. We must pay
Yeah.
VAT.
VAT.
It's as simple as that.
ABC.
Thank you very much. Wow, this is very, very insightful. I wish we have more time to really
Please,
talk
before you
because
go on,
I know
are you telling us now that we should put our mind at rest?
but as you
We should
civil
calm
servant,
down,
we should
that
be
there's-
calming down.
It's not
Yes,
just-
But the more you earn, the more you pay.
Before you pay.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
You go to the top five.
That's just it. That's just it.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for this high hope me because I believe this is a reality that we are going into and we are getting into it gradually. And maybe we don't know what our leaders have in mind. Maybe they have in these 65 years. I mean, in this new phase, let's hope that maybe we see something tangible, something we can really hold on to. Okay, our governments are working. You understand? But all the same, who makes the government? I always ask the question: who makes the government? These people. if we too we are there, won't we do the same thing? We always complain that there are some wives are going on traveling. If you get there too, is it not that that which will become a gamma?
Yes, so yes,
So you know, I
some
always
of
talk
some of the
about
people, some of the
That's
people who even
natural.
called for the program,
yeah,
the owner of the program asked them if you are the one. He said, one man said, I know it's bad though, but I will see travel.
Of
You
course.
understand? So that's the reality. So you understand? So this is going to help us to build a better nation, you know, as in take responsibility for ourselves and for business owners and everybody, you know, be accountable. We need to be accountable to ourselves and even our leaders. We should have leaders that can be accountable to us and what they do. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. We really appreciate this insight. I will believe you have one question on the other. How can they reach out to you? Do you have Instagram page or any page where people can follow you?
Yes, I have
What's your handle?
Majala_Sam. That's my Instagram page.
Okay.
Then I have a podcast on YouTube as well.
Okay.
Samuel Ajala Podcast.
Okay.
So on YouTube you can reach me
Okay.
there.
You talk more about this tax or you have other things to do?
I talk about life generally.
Like generally. Okay. All right. That's awesome. Thank you very much for coming once again. And thank you. Our let's say our mommy.
Don't start.
Thank you. I know that. So just go and get ready to pay your tax, you know,
Yes.
as a
Civil servants,
Yeah,
we are
no, no.
paying tax.
So
We have things to show for it that
to
we
show
pay
for
tax.
it. Yeah,
Yes.
which we are going to pay.
Yeah,
So
You have
as
no
a
option.
business,
Sir?
I want to ask a
You have no
question. I have a question. What briefly before we go for NGOs and churches, are they also as in because we know that government to have some policies that is really regard affecting some church, maybe making some demands from them that okay, they ask them to present some things. There was a time somebody was talking about that and they were like, were you there when I was building my church? So what does government have to do asking for some documentation from the church? So what can you say briefly about NGOs and churches in just 1 minute?
I think NGO should just keep their records straight.
Okay.
But for now, the tax reform is not
It's not going
Channeled towards them.
channels towards them like
Okay.
that because
Okay.
majorly
Okay.
they are not profit maximization
Yeah, they're not profit making
entities. So
Okay. Okay.
they are just they just render service and make sure that they impact lives. So
Okay.
I don't think basically this tax reform is not yet towards them.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. On this where we're going to wrap it up on Just a Chat. I believe you've learned something on it as a business owner, as myself. If I call my product, if it is vatable, like he said, and I call my product 1 million, please, no negotiation. I'm not going to reduce. And I said, yes, I'm not going because tax is already there. You hear it in now because I'm going to pay my tax. As a good Nigerian
And make sure to that when you get it from
I
also
get
remit to proper you to
it.
because it is not part of your income though.
we try, we pay. Yeah, as a good Nigerian. So thank you
Yeah.
very much. So see you again next time for another interesting episode of Just a Chat. It's been me. Happy birthday to Nigeria. Happy anniversary. Enjoy your days. It's not about the flags. It's about being as a real Nigerian,
Yeah.
Nigeria, as in do your duty, due diligence to pay your duty as a Nigerian. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ma, for
Thank you
coming.
so
Thank you, Mr. Ajala, for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you for
the
watching. And
opportunity.
don't forget, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please right now, click that button now. Subscribe, is like, comment, and share with somebody. And we see you again next week for another episode. It's me, Biola, saying bye.
Bye.